Let's dive in. We are here today to cover our team meeting. And we're having some fun with our tech setup. I've gone rogue, and hopefully it works for you guys at home. Just your TCPA friendly reminder, if you are doing teleprospecting in any way, shape, or form, make sure you are compliant with do not call and TCPA guidelines and rules. If you need a reminder what those are, you can Google, you can head to those websites listed on the blue links there. You can hop on the office policy manual and learn more about that. You know, Jess, do I have the right team meeting up? I think I do. I hope I do. She's gonna let me know. I had a busy morning, so I didn't preview it, so we'll see. Be prepared for unexpected health restrictions. Here's what we know right now, guys. We know that we're in an ever-changing environment, and while not all of us may agree with each other or with the regulations, as responsible business owners, we need to be aware of what those are and prepare everybody for a safe environment. So what does this look like? You know, we are so excited over the past couple of weeks to be able to get back together face to face and be together as a group. We know that a lot of you have kids, and your kids are probably in some variation of what's happening at school. I know there's a lot of kids who are quarantined right now, who are not quarantined right now, who are you know, doing a lot of different stuff. It is our intention to make sure that every single event we put on the calendar gets held, unless for whatever reason that instructor is not able to hold it. Like I know, you know, we had an event this week that we did have to reschedule due to for that very reason. But we don't want our regulations to stop us from delivering training, community collaboration, and value to the market center. So every single event that we have has a digital component. And what we're going to do is we are going to proceed with the digital component, and with Zoom being our primary engagement activity. And then once a week for team meetings on Wednesdays, we're going to continue to host those from the training room in person. So if you're looking for in-person community and collaboration, you want to be real live with the three of us who are in the room today, join us on Wednesdays for team meeting. Why did we make this decision? Well, I wish I could tell you it was something, you know, really profound or ethereal. Here's what it really is. People aren't showing up for things in person, and it's not fair for our instructors to make them come and do things in person when people aren't going to be here in person. So we're going to continue on Zoom until such a time where more people feel comfortable getting together in person. It's nothing personal. We're just looking out for everybody, and y'all raised your hands and said you liked Zoom. So that's what we're going to keep doing. Awesome. Who are we? We are the sum of our MVVVP. So our mission: careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. If there's a piece of that you need to add to your world or consider in your business, let's have a conversation about that. It's our vision to be the real estate company of choice for our agents and their customers. Our values: God, family, then business, right? It's about the priorities, and we put those in order. Ooh, going too fast. Going way too fast. I skipped over our belief system. I skipped over my t-shirt, the Y4C2Ts. Although my t-shirt is old school and it doesn't have the E in it. And I want to chat about the E really quick. Equity, opportunities for all. This is the newest addition to our belief system. If you were in Mega Camp last week, you may have done some breakout sessions around equity, around having opportunities for all, around diversity, equity, inclusion, around unconscious bias, around some of those pieces. And when it gets down to the core of what we do as people, as business owners, as community leaders, right? Our relationships are with people. So can we better relate with and connect with people inside of that? So I know those were some of the pieces from last week that really stood out for me. We'll be bringing some of those same opportunities into the market center here by the end of the year. So keep an eye out for that. We are a technology company that provides the platform that our real estate agents and their buyers and sellers prefer. We think like a top producer, act like a trainer consultant, and focus all of our activities on service, productivity, and profitability. And we have some fun conversations today. Like I said, I'm going rogue. We're going to chat with our friends for BrokerBay, and I don't see a slide here, so I'm just going to stop sharing for a second. I think she's coming in on our system. Yeah, she's coming in on our Zoom. And before I get there, I wanted to chat with you guys about what's going on in the world right now, in the country, particularly in the wake of Hurricane Ida. If you guys have been following this, there's massive amounts of displaced persons, folks without power, damage, destruction. Like, this has been a real catastrophic event for particularly the folks in Louisiana. I know that our KW CARES disaster response teams are en route. Jessica, I don't know that I have it in the slide deck. Were you able to put together some of those resources for our people to be able to make donations today? Coming soon. Okay, so here's the intention. I want you guys to go to KW CARES, kwcares.org. kwcares.com will also get you there. Go to KW CARES on the main page. You can make a donation to the KW disaster response. Here's what they do, and we're all familiar, I'm sure, with KW CARES, but I'm going to give you just a snippet of who KW CARES is, in case if you are not familiar. KW CARES is our safety net, right? They provide grant relief in the event of financial hardship due to a catastrophic life event. Sometimes those life events are illness, injury, could be a house fire, could be something like that. Sometimes those life events are natural disasters. So we have an entire team at KW CARES that's devoted to disaster relief and response. We have warehouses, semi-trucks full of bottled water, generators, like all of the disaster response needs that we have. Those trucks are en route and have arrived in some of the areas that need support in Louisiana at this point. They're setting up the mobile command centers. It is a big deal. And our KW CARES is run by the leadership of Keller Williams Realty International, in case if you guys didn't know that. They do that as employees of KWRI, which allows literally 100% of the donations to go to disaster response. We're not paying any overhead for that. Everything that gets donated goes right to the people, and we do it with as little red tape as possible. We're literally there right now on the scene. We work with local market centers as our centers of communication and command. We do our outreach and disaster recovery through those market centers, through the associates, through their family members, and through the communities that they serve. If you've been around long enough, you know that we even go to communities that don't have Keller Williams in them, because sometimes we're best equipped to help serve. So the The timeline of their recovery will look different, and their needs during that timeline will progress, right? Right now, the biggest need that they have is going to be in the cash donation that funds KW disaster relief to go and do what they do. So I implore you, please go to KW Cares, make a donation now. We're going to be able to put a link in a QR code in the chat here so that it becomes easier for you to do that. So go please make a donation. If you have a closing coming up this week, work with Market Center leadership if you want to make that donation directly on your green sheet. We don't do those anymore, but put it right on the DA. We can do that too to make your donation. These are tax deductible. And you'll be doing a lot of good for a lot of people. Over time, what will happen is the recovery efforts will change. One of the first things that can be helpful after, after infrastructure is restored is going to be things like Walmart and Home Depot gift cards so that people can, with very little red tape, go and take care of the emergent needs that they have in kind of restoring life in their households. What we'll end up doing here over the next few weeks is partnering with some local market centers who've been impacted and working with them directly to render whatever aid we can, adopt any families that we can, and to be able to put those pieces together. So look for that information coming soon. And today, make a donation. Yes, make a donation. Okay. All right. So did everybody make their donation? Are we good to continue on? I want to see heads nodding. Yes.
I've already made mine.
All right. Let's roll, shall we? Do I have our partners with BrokerBay and RE Colorado on with us today?
I'm here.
Oh, there's Kim.
Hello.
Hey, hello, Kim. How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
I am so good. Kim, we're gonna go ahead and spotlight you so everybody can see you here.
Okay, great.
And you, my dear, there we go, are welcome. I don't know if I actually did that right. Hold on, let me try this one more time.
I think you did that right.
Did I?
I think so. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and
I
share
got
my
that work, yeah.
screen. Let me try this out here.
I pinned her, I didn't spotlight her.
Oops. Okay, are you, oh, looks like you can see that on your screen.
Perfect.
All right, and everybody can hear me okay?
Yep.
I am Kim Ayer. I am the new business relationship manager at RE Colorado. Thank you so much for having me this morning. I'm really excited to share with you our sneak peek of BrokerBay. So this morning, I'm going to be going over how the partnership with RE Colorado and BrokerBay was formed. Then I will give you a sneak peek of all the great features that BrokerBay offers. I will go over the next steps for the onboarding process. And then finally, I'll let you know how you can get more information about BrokerBay. So our partnership with BrokerBay is the first time that we've had an enterprise level deal with a showing management service. So we're very excited about that. During the selection process, we reviewed close to 20 different showing services because we wanted to make sure that the product we selected met the high standards that we have for all of the products and services we offer to our subscribers. And we also wanted to make sure that we were going with a proven full service showing management solution. So our goal with this enterprise level deal is to provide a common tool, not only for RE Colorado subscribers, but for all real estate professionals across the state so that everybody can be as efficient as possible. And the best part about it is that BrokerBay is included with your RE Colorado subscription. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into the sneak peek. This is your agent dashboard. It's the first thing you'll see when you sign into BrokerBay. It provides a streamlined view of your listings and lets you know if any actions need to be taken. On the left side of the screen here, you will see the desktop version, and on the right, and on the right side, you'll see the app version. So as we go through these slides, you'll be able to compare the two versions. So back here on the desktop version on the left, you'll see your listings. And this is where all your listing information is integrated from RE Colorado Matrix. Next, you have a widget for your appointments, and this is for both the buyer and the listing side. The next widget over is for your tasks. This is where you'll be able to see if a listing needs to be configured or if an appointment's been requested. And then finally at the top here, you'll see that there's a section where you can chat with your team. And the last widget down there on the bottom left is for your contacts. This is where you'll add your clients, and you can also add vendors. So this would be, carpet cleaners, roofers, you name it. They can also be added there under your contacts. And next we have a section for your brokerage. This is where all the listings for your brokerage are kept. So you can stay up to date with what your colleagues are working on. And you can also stay up to date about any open houses that are coming up. You can see that's the second tab over from listings just under my brokerage. The last thing I wanted to point out in this section is that you have access to a haves and wants message board. So if you're looking for something specific like a vendor or maybe even a rental property in Denver, you can let all of your colleagues know about that here. I think a lot of people currently use private Facebook groups for this messaging, or maybe even Slack. So it's really nice that it's integrated right here within BrokerBay. Next, we have the admin dashboard and queue. So if you're out on the road and you don't have access to your phone and you need emergency help setting up showings, your admin can jump in here and help you out. On the right side, you'll see the admin queue, and everything that's highlighted in red just shows when an action needs to be taken. So if you have a listing that needs to be configured or a showing appointment that needs to be approved, your admin can go in here and take care of that for you. Next, we have listing configuration. And this is what you'll need to do every time you set up a new showing within BrokerBay. On the left here, you'll see that you have your minimum showing notice and your maximum showing duration. And that maximum showing duration comes in 3 different time increments: 50 minutes, 30 minutes, and 1 hour. So if you have an entry-level listing, you'll probably want to set that 15-minute showing duration because you'll have a lot of potential buyers. On the other hand, if you have a land listing or a luxury property, you might want to set that time at 1 hour so that your clients have the opportunity to see all the features of the property. The last thing here on the left is just that you can toggle on and off if you want to allow double bookings. Next, over to the right, this is where you're going to add who can approve showings. So if you have clients that are spouses, or maybe a landlord and a tenant, or even parents with a teenager who's home from school, you can add all of those people here and then add any notes if necessary. One thing that's not included on this slide that I wanted to make sure I mentioned is if you were looking at this on your actual desktop on the webpage and you scroll down, you would also have access to a calendar that allows you to set the day and the time when showings are available. So if you have parents who are getting their kids ready for school during the week and they don't want their property shown before 9 a.m., you can block those times out in BrokerBay. On the other hand, if they are okay with their property being shown from 9 to 5 while they're at work, you can make those times available within BrokerBay. Going back to the slide under showing agent instructions, this is where you'll have your lockbox integrations. BrokerBay is integrated with Supra, SentryLock, and Master Lock. So it makes it really easy for you to assign lockboxes and codes right through BrokerBay. You don't have to go to multiple systems. They're all integrated right here. Another great feature under this lockbox section is if you've ever shown a condo or high rise and you walk up and you see a ton of lockboxes out front, BrokerBay allows you to take a picture of your lockbox, upload it to the system, and then circle it so there's no confusion about which one's yours. And then finally, over to the right here, you'll have a section where you can turn off your add if you need to turn off your lights, remove your shoes, or leave any other instructions from your seller. Next, we have your listing view. And this is where all of your property details are kept, including your property photos. And this is all integrated right from RE Colorado Matrix. And one thing I did want to mention on this slide is the integration with the Matterport tours. And you can see that little icon there on the right. And this is a great feature that allows you and your client to tour the property online in real time. You'll be able to walk through the property, talk to each other, see each other. So you can take your client over to the kitchen to show them the cabinets, and then your client can take over control and walk you both to the backyard to check out the landscaping. This is what your MLS booking experience will look like within RE Colorado Matrix. On the left side, you'll see the single line display, and that BrokerBay icon will show up right there next to the listing ID. And the next section over, you'll see this is your full listing display, and the BrokerBay icon will be under the main listing photo. Some brokers may choose to continue using showing time, and if that's the case, you'll see the showing time icon next to that listing ID. And we've got an example of what that would look like over on the left. And finally, on the right, I just wanted to mention, if you haven't already, please download the RE Colorado app. It's a great way to have all of your listing information right at your fingertips, and you can approve showings right from your phone. Next, we have listing feedback. This is a great way to get information from your buyer's agent to share with your client. So if you have a property that has a kitchen that needs to be renovated, or maybe there's a crack in the sidewalk out front that needs to be repaired, that's information that you can take from the buyer's agent to share with your client and hopefully avoid some of those potentially difficult conversations. This is the seller dashboard. So what we've covered so far is on the broker side, but the seller has their very own dashboard. It makes it really easy for them to approve appointments, which you can see on the left here. In the center, we have the section where your sellers can add any notifications that they want to receive. So if they want to know if their property's been booked, confirmed, canceled, denied, or had a time change, they can toggle those on and off and be notified by SMS message through the app, text message on their phone, or email. And they can also have all of their appointments, all of their showing appointments synced with their personal calendars, whether they're in Google, Outlook, or iCloud. Next, we have broker chat. So this allows you to chat with brokers, not only within your own brokerage, but also other brokerages. So if you want to let people know if you've had, if you're running late for an appointment, or if there's been a price change on the property, you can just use it really easily through this broker chat. And it allows up to 20 different users within a chat. And anytime anybody sends a message, they can be notified by text message, email, or SMS message within the app. Another great communication tool within BrokerBay is that there is a way for you to message all of your showing agents at once. So you can do this by either using a preset template message, or you can create your own custom messages using these blue smart links that you'll see down at the bottom here. So how those work is you would take all the contact information from your showing agents, put it into an email, and then you just drag and drop those blue smart fields. And the blue smart fields will cover things like your listing photo, your listing address. You can even drag and drop a link to all of your listing details. So it's a really easy way that you can message everyone at once. You don't have to send individual emails, and you don't have to look up all those property details. They all will auto-populate for you. And no real estate tool will be complete without market analytics, and BrokerBay has a very robust set of those. You can view things like market trends, you can compare your farm areas, and you can also get real-time data about your showings. Does anybody have any questions before I get to the onboarding process? I'm not hearing anything, so I can wait till the end if you'd like to ask your questions then. How the onboarding process is going to work is your managing broker will claim your office, which Donna Evans has already done for your office. And so the next step in the process will be onboarding, and that will start in the early fall. And that's when you'll get trained on how to use the full system within BrokerBay, how to configure your listings, and you'll be paired with a BrokerBay onboarding specialist during that time who can answer any specific questions you have. Once your office launches, then you will be able to, you'll see the blue BrokerBay icon in your matrix display, as I showed you a couple slides earlier. And at that point, you'll be able to contact RE Colorado customer care as you normally do for any additional questions that you have about BrokerBay. Our training team is also currently working on an in-depth training for BrokerBay, so stay tuned for information about that. One other thing that I wanted to mention is that all of the tools that we've covered so far, all of those communication tools, the text message, the SMS message within the app, and the email, so this is within the desktop version and the app, that's all included with your RE Colorado subscription. And all of those communication tools are built to be very user-friendly and intuitive, so that hopefully you would not need to have a live call center. However, you do have the option to set up a live call center during the onboarding process when you're working with that BrokerBay onboarding specialist. So we do, BrokerBay offers very competitive pricing for that live appointment desk. On the bottom of the slide here, you can see that desktop and mobile app only version is included with your RE Colorado subscription at no additional cost to you. If your brokerage decides that they want to offer the live appointment desk for everyone in the office, that can be done for $8 per active listing per month. And if individual brokers would like to purchase the live appointment desk on their own, that would be $20 per month for unlimited listings. So just wanted to let you know that that is the only feature within BrokerBay that is not included with your RE Colorado subscription. And finally, if you would like to learn more about BrokerBay, we have put together a ton of tools for you. We've got blog posts and emails and flyers and videos. So if you'd like to access any of this information as we lead up to the onboarding process, you can go to your Connect dashboard and click on the blue BrokerBay icon. It has a little coming soon ribbon on it right now. It'll take you to a landing page that has all of this information. So please feel free to visit that. And just a reminder that we have a fantastic customer care team that is available to you 6 days a week. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to them. And that wraps up my presentation. Does anybody have any questions I can answer today?
I have a question, actually a couple of questions regarding the call center
Yes.
for the additional $8 a month per listing.
Mhm.
So if our office chose to do that, would we be able to, first of all, change that at any point and kind of toggle back and forth if we wanted to try it out, is my first question. And then the second question would be, if we choose not to use the call center option, would we still get help if we were having a problem with the system itself? Or is the call center kind of an all or nothing? Or is it just for scheduling those actual appointments? So just a little bit more clarification on that call center option.
Yes, I can explain at least the second part of that. If you need help, once your office has launched, you will contact RE Colorado customer care, as you do now with any of our services, products and services, so they can help you out if you have anything, as you're working in the system. For the live appointment desk, I'll have to look into whether or not you can toggle that on and off. I'm not quite sure. It's my understanding, and Amy Todd is from our product team and probably can help out with a little more detail. But I believe that it's just for setting those appointments. But
yeah, I can jump in here. You can cancel that at any time. So you aren't like locked into a contract or anything like that. If you do want to try it out at the brokerage level for about a month and see how that goes. If you do decide to turn it off at the brokerage level, any of your agents can sign up directly for that $20 per month cost for all of their listings. And the live appointment desk is only to schedule showings. Like Kim said, you'll call RE Colorado customer care for support.
Hey, Ellie?
Yeah.
Hi, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So just for clarification, if for whatever reason, because we all know as good as any app can be, there could be challenges. So if we're scheduling the appointment through the app, we don't have the additional $8 per listing fee on there, but there's an issue scheduling through that app, we could call to make that appointment just if there's issues, even if we don't have the $8 per listing per month. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep. You would call our support team and they can assist you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that clarification.
Sure.
we have a flyer on this that I'll make sure that I send over to your office so that everybody has access to it, just with a little bit more detail about that live appointment desk.
So it looks like it's almost a CRM where you're adding in, your client's data and so forth. At the end of the day, who owns that data?
I can jump in here, Kim. It's very similar to Showing Time, where you add your contacts to the showing details. At the end of the day, BrokerBay offers the product, but it is your data. They don't have any rights to do anything with that data, just like our data in Matrix, and nobody can access your contact details in there.
So is there a way for me to delete client data once I've sold the listing?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Do you know the ownership breakdown of BrokerBay? Do any of our competitors own a piece of BrokerBay or anything?
They don't. They're a privately owned company. They're based in Canada. They are not owned by any people in the real estate market. It was actually started by a gentleman named Costa, who started out as a real estate broker in Canada.
Does anyone else have questions?
Okay, one last question.
Sure, yeah.
First of all, thank you for taking your time to come out and show this to us. You had mentioned onboarding is early fall. Do you have a schedule for that? And that will be the entire office, or will you be doing individual onboarding?
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. It's sort of a rolling process. So it's really up to the managing broker for each office to determine what that launch date is going to be. How it's going to work is we'll send the onboarding email to that managing broker and they will select that date. And that's the date that everybody needs to hit to make sure those listings are configured, to make sure that everybody is going to be trained. So it's really, I can't give a specific date because it's really up to that managing broker to decide, if that makes sense. And hopefully we'll also be sharing more details as we get closer, but that's the process currently.
Perfect, thank you.
Sure, yeah. Anybody else? No, I think that's it then. Well, thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to get started and can't wait to share more.
Wonderful. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming out today. We are excitedly awaiting the launch. Obviously, by bringing you guys BrokerBay, our brokerage has decided to make the move from showing time to BrokerBay. When that happens, obviously, we will be letting everybody know. You'll have all of the warning we can possibly give you to make this transition as easy as possible. And as an agent, you can, if you choose to, continue to work with showing time. That is completely up to you inside of that. And you know, the team mentioned that there is the appointment desk option. Thank you, Adrian, for getting some clarity around what that looks like. But we want to hear from you. Let me share my screen here again. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. You guys should see a QR code, not QR code, QR code, goodness.
URL.
Yeah, one of those fancy
Those codes.
UPC things you scan with your camera and it takes you to a magical spot on the internet. The magical spot on the internet this will take you to is a survey. Let us know what your thoughts are on the appointment desk. Do you currently call your showing service to set showings? Is that a feature that's really important to you? We want to make this decision in the way that best serves our market center. Keep an eye out on Friday's newsletter as well. We'll be sending this this survey out to everybody, even those who are not here at the team meeting, so that you can take it. Let us know, would you use the appointment desk service if we were to continue on with that? So any more questions or comments or anything else before we let our guests from RE Colorado and continue on with their day? All right. Looks like you guys got off the hook pretty easily today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. And I hope to hear from you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Gil.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, and thank you, Jessica. I just don't think I went far enough in the slide deck here for you guys. Here's that QR code for KW Cares and the disaster relief efforts. I pulled these pictures this morning from a team leader colleague of mine, Stan, who's just outside of New Orleans, who obviously their market center and their people have been impacted. And this is what's going on this morning. You can see that this was not long after sunrise today. The trucks are loaded, gas cans, fuel, right? batteries, generators, drinking water. Those are some of the highest demand items right now as water and power supplies have been impacted. Look at those pallets and pallets of generators. That's awesome, guys. So I wanted to share that with
Did we
you.
lose any market centers? Or did they?
Not that I've heard of yet.
This was last time we lost 3.
Yeah, and I think that there's still so much that's inaccessible that those reports might still be out for a little while. Inside of that. Yeah, so donate to KW Cares. Help us out inside of that piece. Let's see, what else do we want to cover today? Hey, agents, I firmly believe, nobody's trying to fight me on this, but I hope they do come at me one of these days. I firmly believe that you guys are the best agents in the Denver metro area. Yes, our
Yes.
KW Park Meadows office has professional, highly trained fiduciaries working for their clients, and it's an honor to be in business with all of you. We have several real estate teams inside of our market center that are growing currently. They are hiring administrative assistants, agents, buyer's agents, listing agents, showing assistants, all of those pieces. So we wanted to open up those opportunities inside of our office first. If you're an individual agent who's ever considered the opportunity of being on a team, or if you are one of those teams, let's start a conversation about what your needs are and help you find the best fit for your business. Feel free to reach out to me or the Market Center leadership team directly to have those conversations. More opportunities abound. We are currently seeking a talented individual for a permanent spot at our front desk. Amy's been working very hard on assessing the market center and the agent's needs to determine the who we're looking for. And as we get closer to finding that who, we have some temporary opportunities at our front desk as well. So if you or someone you know is looking for, some flexible part-time administrative work, see Amy right away. We've got openings coming up here in the next week or so. So we want to work with you or someone you know, trust and love. If you think you know somebody who might be a great fit long-term for this permanent fixture inside of our incredible office, let us know. In fact, some of the most amazing, talented people I've had the privilege to work with on our leadership team and our staff have come by way of referral from you. So you guys know some incredible people. We'd like to know them too. And I bet it'd be fun to come to work with them every day, wouldn't it? So keep an eye on that. Oh, back to school. Kids are back to school and so are we. I say that with a grain of salt because, some kids are doing different things right now. Here's the reality of that. Our business has changed, right? The message may have changed, but the methods of which we do business have not changed. They're constant and steady. And we want you guys to have the opportunity to get back to pouring into your business. So over the course of the next several weeks, as we continue our back to school event, you will find a training event every single day that you can participate in live via our Zoom audience. Starting with today's team meeting, our team meetings will be hosted in person and on Zoom. With our huge in-person audience, our team meetings will still continue to be in person and on Zoom. So if you want the opportunity to get like face-to-face, I was going to say belly to belly, but we're still not getting that close to people.
Did we before?
I
I don't think since I've been a part of this
Some people
office.
do business differently, don't they? let's look at that there. But so if you're still looking for that opportunity to come into the office and be a part of an event, we invite you to join us at 11 a.m. on Wednesdays for our team meeting. All of our other events are going to be hosted on Zoom only for the time being, as the climate, starts to, move and shake. We'll move and shake along with it. So just keep an eye out on that. Make sure that you're keeping an eye on that training schedule as well. Let's see. I think we were prepared for like 20 minutes worth of questions for BrokerBay. And we simply didn't have them. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open this up to you guys. What kind of questions do you have really quick? And then I want to share with you some really fun experiences that I've recently had in my own real estate adventures. And I promise it's worth it. So stick around for that. But let's open this up. Questions, comments? Somebody didn't think it was worth it. Bye. Oh goodness. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about your tool belt for your buyers and sellers. And I have a very kind of impassioned message for you guys. I encourage you all to thoroughly explore the vast array of options buyers and sellers have in this market that you can be their guide through, right? On the iBuyer side, there are several options for sellers to be able to sell off market with what is claimed to be a fast cash, no hassle experience, right? They aren't always fast. They aren't always no hassle, right? Yet you should know what some of those options are. In many cases, you as the agent can help your client through those options, right? So, so you want to explore things like Keller offers, right? Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow offers. What are some of the other ones right now? Orchard. Who else are we?
Is Redfin in
Who are we
there?
thinking of? Redfin could be inside of that. You should at least know. I would put Redfin more on the competition side and the discount brokerage side, but they do have a fast sale program, right? An iBuyer program. So that would be something to look into as well. Other tools in your tool belt would be creative financing solutions. If you have a client who wants to fill in the blank, do you know who can help them do that from a financial side, right? If you have a client who really wants to buy before they sell, do you have financial partners that can help that happen? Are you aware of different solutions for that? Did you know that there's a whole lot of different solutions for that, and it can be incredibly confusing? So can you help your clients navigate that space? If you have clients who are looking at investment properties and want to keep their home as an investment and move up into something else, do you have partners for that? If you have a client who needs to make some repairs or take care of some deferred maintenance before they go on the market to get top dollar, do you have partners for that? If you have clients who are looking for investment opportunities, do you have partners for that? Do you have partners for fix and flip, for what's the words that I'm looking for? Do you have partners that can help your clients get into wholesale opportunities, right? There's so many different areas to investigate. And so one of the reasons that I brought this up is I recently accidentally found a home and decided I wanted to move on very short notice. Brittany chuckles a little because it was just like that.
That's what happens to me too.
Yeah, you know, they made the mistake of letting me go on vacation, and Jake asked me what happened, and I said, I just don't relax well, so here we go. And I digress. Fortunately, I was on vacation, and so you know, so I had some free time to explore a lot of these opportunities. And literally 3 whole days later, I finally was able to navigate this ocean of solutions and find what worked best for our situation and our family. And my biggest aha was, if I were just a traditional buyer or seller, there is no way I could have managed that. I would have had to take like vacation time from work, right? Just to apply for mortgages and get cash offers on my home. Like it was incredible. You know, I had to take pictures of my own home and submit them onto a variety of different portals. And what one portal wanted pictures of, the other portal didn't care about, but they wanted pictures of other things, right? So I got to, you know, clean my house really quick and take photos of it a few times, which was super fun. I got to navigate through representatives and advisors from other companies to talk about different lending products and different essentially fancy bridge loan solutions, right? And what resulted from this, and what results statistically from 9 out of 10 people who look at these options, I went to open market with a traditional lender. Crazy, isn't it? But it was a lot to sort through to get me there. And if I didn't already have at least kind of a good idea of what these different solutions could offer, then I would have ended up wasting a lot of time. And I would have found my real estate fiduciary, my advisor, my real estate agent, a lot less valuable if I were navigating that water on my own. So, so that's kind of my soapbox right now. Do you know what's available? Have you explored it? Do you have an iBuyer offer from every single iBuyer out there on your own home? Right? Have you become trained and certified with the different lending solutions? Are you familiar with NOC, who we are bringing in to have certified home swap agents in our office? NOC will be here. I don't think we have a date yet, but here within the next few weeks. Homeward, right? Have you talked to them? Have you sat down with your lender? I'm under contract with Guild Mortgage here in our office. We close tomorrow, right? Have you talked to them about the solutions that they can offer? Are you prepared to share with your clients what that looks like? Have you gone through Keller Offers? Are you certified there? I submitted my own property to Keller Offers and received an OfferPad offer that was at least on the table, right? It was something to consider. And as an agent, I would have been able to represent myself. I would have been able to represent a seller who wasn't me, right? Throughout that entire transaction as their fiduciary. Do you know how to use those tools at your disposal? Can you help your clients navigate those? You know, Homeward, have you gone through the Homeward certification process? Are you familiar with what that looks like? Have you explored financial options like Keller Mortgage? Have you talked to a loan advisor? I know we had Troy doing a live stream for our office. Was it last week, right? Have you had a consultation with Troy to talk about lending products for your clients? Have you explored, oh, there was one more that I was just thinking of. I keep seeing them online. Better Mortgage. They're kind of this new shiny object in the mortgage world. They're claiming to not have appraisals and therefore have taken the appraisal gap conversation out of play. I mean, really, it's shiny objects, right? But are you familiar with what those are? Because here's what's going to happen. As soon as your buyer or seller starts getting interested in buying or selling, what happens to their newsfeed? Right? The same thing that happens when they get interested in buying a new pair of shoes. Their newsfeed gets full of shoes. right? When they get interested in buying and selling, their newsfeed gets full of things that help them buy and sell. And if it's a product you're not familiar with, you know, they'll get click happy really quick, and they may end up really far away from the best solution for them and just really infatuated with shiny objects. We have Ken in the training room with us today, and Ken, you shared you know, just kind of the conversation that you have with all of your sellers earlier in our mastermind. And what's that question that you ask them, and how do you frame that as you start working with them?
Well, before I go on a listing appointment, I ask if they have seen any of the cash offer programs online, or if they have applied to any of the cash offer programs online. And if the answer is yes, we talk about that. If the answer is no, I tell them, well, we can cover that in our meeting. We have access to cash offer program through Keller Offers, and we will describe that process to you. The beauty of going through our system is I'm allowed to advise you as your agent in that process. So it's worth your time to speak to us about that before you go off on your own looking at everything online.
Yeah, and that effectively like helps them pause all of the button pushing, right? And it's a great way to be able to frame that conversation and know exactly what you're getting into when you get to the listing table. It's an interesting environment, right, for real estate buyers and sellers. And I'm so grateful that we accidentally, you know, went through this process here. And, you know, I think any realtor who goes through the buying or selling process during that time thinks, gosh, I should do this more often. I kind of forgot what the challenge was. I kind of forgot what that is. So, so if you haven't put yourself in that situation recently, either take advantage of this great market and upgrade your property right now, or don't do that and just explore some of those options so that you can really have relevant conversations with your buyers and sellers. And be able to see things through their eyes inside of that piece. Well, as we wrap up, any questions from our live Zoom audience or any questions from our live training room audience? We are crickets all over the place. I love it. It's been a pleasure, guys. I look forward to seeing more and more and more of your faces, either live in the training room or live on the Zoom. We'll see you guys all very soon. I'm going to let you go grab some lunch. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you, Anna.
Thanks, guys.